Students, welcome back to PNMRC e-learning classes. Now we are going to learn chapter number 8, Cell Structure and Functions, part 3 in detail. Students, today we are going to start our video with the topic size of cells. The cells are of many different sizes. The cells in a living organism may be as small as a millionth of a meter, micrometer or micron, or it may be as large as a few centimeters. However, most of the cells are extremely small in size or microscopic and hence cannot be seen with the naked eyes or we can say unaided eyes. Most of the cells found in living organism have to be enlarged or magnified by using a microscope before they can be seen by us. Bacteria cells are extremely small. The bacteria cell have the length of 0.1 micrometer to 0.5 micrometer. In fact, bacteria mycoplasma is the smallest cell having the size or length of only 0.1 micrometer. The largest cell measuring 170 millimeter into 130 millimeter is the egg of an ostrich. Now students, we will perform activity 2 to demonstrate that some of the cells are however big and can be seen easily with naked eyes. The bird's eggs are very large cells. Each cell of bird is a single cell. For that, boil a hen's egg. Remove the shell. What do you observe? We will observe a white material surrounds the yellow part. That white material is albumin, which solidifies on boiling. The yellow part is yolk. It is a part of the single cell. You can observe this single cell without any magnifying device. So we can say that a bird egg is a single cell which can be seen with the naked eyes. Students, the size of cells has no relation with the size of the body of an animal or plant. Now, elephant is a very big animal, whereas rat is a quite small animal. It is not necessary that the cells of the elephant be much bigger than those in a rat. The size of a cell is related to its function. For example, the nerve cells both in elephant and rat are long and branched. They perform the same function of transmitting messages in the form of electrical impulses. So student, now we will learn cell structure and function. An organism is an animal or a plant which can exist on its own. An organism is made up of many different organ systems which work together to perform all the functions necessary for maintaining life. For example, human being is an organism and each living organism like the human being is made up of many different organ systems like digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, nervous system, excretory system, reproductive system, muscular system and skeleton system. Each organ in the system perform different functions such as digestion, assimilation and absorption that you must have studied in your class 7th. Similarly, different organs of a plant perform specific or specialized functions. For examples, root helps in absorption of water and minerals. Each organ is further made up of smaller parts called tissues. A tissue is a group of similar cells performing a specific function. Paheli realized that an organ is made up of tissues, which in turn are made up of cells. The cell in a living organism is the basic structural unit. From all the above discussion, we come to the conclusion that multicellular organisms like plants and animals are built like this. Cells make up tissues, tissues make up organ make up organ system, and finally organ system make up an organism. Now students, our interesting topic is structure of cell. First we will study about animal cell. An animal cell consists of a jelly-like material enclosed in a thin membrane. A jelly-like material which fills the cell is called cytoplasm, and the thin outer covering of the cell is called cell membrane. There are many bodies of different shapes and size inside the cytoplasm. For example, there is a large floating body usually in the center of a cell which is called the nucleus. The function of the nucleus is to control all the activities of the cell like growth, cell division, etc. The nucleus contains a tiny round structure called nucleolus and a fibrous material called chromatin. It has also a nuclear membrane on the outside. Students, this is a detailed picture of an animal cell. You have to watch this animal cell and then you have to draw this animal cell in your notebook. Now students, we will study in detail about plant cell. So, a plant cell consists of a jelly-like cytoplasm enclosed in a thin cell membrane. There is a large floating nucleus in the cytoplasm. The nucleus contains nucleolus and chromatin. It is surrounded by a nuclear membrane. Students, all the plant cells have a thick cell wall around the cell membrane. This cell wall is made up of a material called cellulose. The cell wall protects the plant cell, gives it a fixed shape and make it rigid. Rigid means strong. The plant cells contain green colored plastids called chloroplast. Chloroplasts are the green colored bodies or particles in the cytoplasm of the plant cell. The chloroplasts make food in green plants by the process of photosynthesis. The plant cells have very large vacuoles. These vacuoles are filled with cell sap. Cell sap is a solution of sugars and mineral salts. The animal cells either do not contain vacuoles or contain several small vacuoles. Students, this is a diagram of a plant cell. You have to. So student, that's all for today's video. We will meet again in our next video with the rest of the topics of this chapter. But before leaving, I must remind you that you have to draw plant cells and animal cells in your notebook. So once again, thank you.